The Targaryen dynasty. From year 1 to 283 Aegon's conquest, the Targaryens ruled Westeros. But it wasn't smooth sailing. At first, their dragons and Valyrian blood kept them powerful. But over time, internal conflicts and rebellions chipped away at their strength. One of the most devastating events was the Dance of the Dragons, a brutal civil war between rival Targaryen factions. It was a bloody dragon-against-dragon conflict between Rhaenyra Targaryen and her half-brother Aegon II, both claiming the Iron Throne after King Viserys I died. The war wiped out most of the family's dragons and tore the realm apart, leaving the Targaryens far weaker. The dance wasn't just a power struggle. It marked the beginning of the end for the dragons, which had once been the house's ultimate weapon. Later came the Blackfyre rebellions. These were a series of uprisings led by House Blackfyre, a bastard branch of the Targaryen family founded when Aegon IV legitimized his bastard son Daemon and gave him the sword Blackfyre. That move split loyalties, creating generations of rebellion as the Blackfyre pretenders tried to claim the throne. Though the Targaryens held on, the repeated wars drained resources, weakened royal authority, and sowed deep mistrust across the realm. The dynasty's final chapter came with Aerys II, the Mad King. At first, Aerys showed promise, but over time his rule turned dark and paranoid. He grew obsessed with wildfire, saw betrayal everywhere, and earned his infamous nickname by ruling through cruelty and fear. His reign sparked Robert's rebellion after he demanded the deaths of Robert Baratheon and Eddard Stark, following the supposed kidnapping of Lyanna Stark by Prince Rhaegar Targaryen. Robert's rebellion erupted into a massive civil war. The Targaryens lost key allies. Rhaegar fell at the Battle of the Trident, and King's Landing was eventually sacked when Tywin Lannister turned against the crown. Jaime Lannister, a member of the Kingsguard, famously killed Aerys, earning the name Kingslayer and ending the Targaryen dynasty. The fall of House Targaryen wasn't just the loss of a throne. It was the collapse of a centuries-long legacy, marked by dragons, conquests, and an increasingly fragile grip on power. From the height of Aegon's rule to the smoldering ruins of King's Landing, the Targaryen story was one of fire, blood, and the slow, painful unraveling of a dynasty that once seemed unstoppable. Robert's Rebellion. In the years 282 to 283 Aegon's conquest, the entire realm was thrown into chaos as Robert Baratheon, Eddard Stark, and Jon Arryn rose up to overthrow the centuries-old Targaryen dynasty. What kicked it off was Prince Rhaegar Targaryen's supposed kidnapping of Lyanna Stark, Eddard's sister, and Robert's betrothed. This wasn't just a personal insult. It was political dynamite. When King Aerys II demanded the heads of Robert and Eddard, the rebellion ignited. The major houses quickly picked sides. House Baratheon, House Stark, and House Arryn formed the rebellion's backbone, while the Targaryens still held loyalty from the Reach, the Westerlands, and the Crownlands. Major battles erupted across Westeros, with Robert proving himself as a ferocious warrior, cutting down Prince Rhaegar at the Battle of the Trident in one of the rebellion's most decisive moments. While Robert's forces pushed toward victory, political betrayal sealed the Targaryen fate. Tywin Lannister, who had stayed out of the fight, marched on King's Landing under the pretense of loyalty, only to sack the city once inside. In the chaos, Jaime Lannister, sworn to protect the king as a Kingsguard, turned on Aerys and killed him, ending the Mad King's life and the dynasty's rule. Meanwhile, Queen Rhaella and young Viserys fled across the sea, and Daenerys Targaryen was born during the storm at Dragonstone, marking the last flicker of the Targaryen line in Westeros. Back home, Robert Baratheon took the throne, crowning himself king and marrying Cersei Lannister to cement the new alliance with the powerful Westerlands. Robert's rebellion didn't just remove the Targaryens, it reshaped the political map, setting up the uneasy alliances, bitter grudges, and family tensions that would ripple through Westeros for years to come. The rebellion shattered old loyalties, raised new kings, and left the realm scarred, both physically and politically. Though Robert sat the Iron Throne, the cost of rebellion left deep wounds that would haunt the Seven Kingdoms long after the banners were lowered and the swords were sheathed. The War of the Five Kings. From the years 298 to 300 Aegon's conquest, Westeros plunged into brutal chaos as multiple claimants rose up, each declaring themselves king and throwing the realm into a massive civil war. It all started after the death of King Robert Baratheon, which cracked open old rivalries and fresh ambitions like a smashed wine barrel. First, there was Joffrey Baratheon, Robert's supposed son, sitting on the Iron Throne under the control of House Lannister. Then came Stannis Baratheon, Robert's elder brother, claiming Joffrey was illegitimate and that the crown belonged to him. Renly Baratheon, the younger brother, decided he wanted the throne too, backed by the powerful Tyrells. In the north, Robb Stark declared himself king in the north after the execution of Eddard Stark, seeking independence, not the Iron Throne. And in the Riverlands, Balon Greyjoy threw his hat into the chaos, declaring himself king of the Isles in the north, launching raids along the western coast. The fighting spread everywhere, battles in the Riverlands, sieges on key strongholds, and shifting alliances. One by one, the rival kings fell. Renly was assassinated under suspicious, shadowy circumstances, leaving his bannermen to either scatter or join Stannis. Stannis launched a desperate assault on King's Landing but was crushed in the Battle of the Blackwater, where Tyrion Lannister's wildfire trap turned the bay into an inferno. Robb Stark, winning brilliant battles in the field, was ultimately betrayed and slaughtered at the Red Wedding, orchestrated by House Frey and House Bolton, with Lannister backing. Balon Greyjoy's ambitions faded as his rebellion stalled, leaving the Iron Islands isolated once again. In the end, it was House Lannister who emerged on top, with Tywin Lannister pulling the strings and cementing control through brutal deals and calculated alliances. The Lannisters tightened their grip over the Seven Kingdoms, with Joffrey on the throne, followed later by his younger brother Tommen, after Joffrey's shocking death. The War of the Five Kings wasn't just about battles, it was about the breaking and reshaping of power. Old houses rose and fell, alliances shifted like sand, and the realm was left deeply fractured and exhausted. House Lannister gained dominance, but it came at the cost of trust, stability, and countless lives. The scars of this war ran deep, setting the stage for even darker storms on the horizon. The return of the Targaryens, the Great War, and the aftermath. From 300 to 305 Aegon's conquest and beyond, the world of Westeros was shaken by the dramatic rise and fall of Daenerys Targaryen. Across the sea in Essos, Daenerys started with nothing but grit and 3 newly hatched dragons, slowly building an army by freeing the Unsullied, breaking chains in Slaver's Bay, and gathering a powerful coalition determined to reclaim the Iron Throne. Back in Westeros, darker forces stirred. The White Walkers, long believed to be ancient legend, surged south with their army of the dead, led by the terrifying Night King. Jon Snow, resurrected by Melisandre after his betrayal at the Wall, rose as a key leader, rallying the North, the Wildlings, and eventually teaming up with Daenerys. Together, they faced the ultimate threat at the Battle of Winterfell. Dragons, armies, and magic clashed in a brutal night of blood and ice, ending when Arya Stark drove her dagger into the Night King, shattering him and breaking the dead's power. But victory in the Great War didn't bring peace. Daenerys turned her sights on King's Landing, where Cersei Lannister still held the throne. Despite the city's surrender, Daenerys unleashed Drogon, burning King's Landing to the ground in a fiery rampage, killing countless civilians and shocking allies and enemies alike. Seeing the danger she now posed, Jon Snow made the devastating choice to stop her. In a quiet, tragic moment, Jon killed Daenerys before the Iron Throne, ending her dream of a new world, and leaving Drogon to fly away with her body, melting the Iron Throne into molten ruin. With the Targaryen claim shattered and the realm in chaos, the surviving leaders gathered in King's Landing to choose a new ruler. They elected Bran Stark, now known as Bran the Broken, as King of the Six Kingdoms, with Sansa Stark declaring the North an independent realm and taking her place as Queen in the North. Tyrion Lannister, despite his many failures, was named Hand of the King, tasked with helping rebuild a realm left in ruins by years of war. Jon Snow, broken by what he had done, was sent back to the Night's Watch, returning to the Wall and heading into the far north, leaving behind the world of thrones and crowns. This new fragile peace, built on the ashes of rebellion, conquest, and ancient threats, offered Westeros a rare chance to heal after generations of violence. But the scars of war ran deep, and the future of the realm remained as uncertain as ever. That's every major era of Game of Thrones broken down, from the dawn of the world to the fight for the throne.